The rite of the annual Sunday Vespers praise. Man was created by God to praise, glorify, and thank Him for His great creation. Praising is the sacrifice of love to the omnipotent Creator, and so the absence of praising in itself is the absence of love for the God of love. Since sin entered into the world, praising became absent from the life of humanity. However, with the redemption by Christ on the wood of the cross, sin was defeated, and praising returned once again. Praising is the oldest service remembered in the Holy Bible and in the church tradition. It is even the work of the heavenly hosts before the creation of mankind. Saint Basil the Great once said, "The work of praising attracts the service of the angels because it is a part of their work, and they become attached to those who share their service." Praising is deep prayer, which brings the one who chants closer to God and allows him to understand the mysteries of His nature. Praising teaches the chanter to meditate upon the words of the gospel and the acts of God with him. Praising yields joy to the Spirit, and the Spirit of praising yields power to the church. Praising is the service of all those who are in heaven and those who will enter it. It is the service of the angels, the spirits of the saints in paradise, and all the flocks who will be at the right hand of God on the day of judgment. In the revelation of Saint Pachomius concerning the departure of the spirits from their bodies, it is written, "And when the spirits enter into paradise, it lives by chanting and praising God at all times." In the apostolic churches, and among them the Coptic Orthodox Church, praising and vocalizing hymns is worship as such, and is not, as in some other churches, assistance to the service of worship. For worship in our church is a spiritual rite that is chanted, which through the expression of its melodies and spirituality is able to preach the theology of the church and its thoughts to every person praying in it. The church, in its acceptance of hymnology and its respect for praising, warns the leaders of the church from failing to chant hymns or avoiding to give it its proper place. For this reason, it is written in the holy canons of the apostles, "And you, O bishop, if you were sitting to teach, or if you were listening to the reader or the cantor, and someone important entered the church, do not let that distract you, but continue with your words or your listening to the readings or hymns." From this, we come to appreciate the dedication of the Church and the Fathers towards the service of praising. Although the Vespers prayer and its praise are not mandatory prior to commencing the Divine Liturgy, the Church's love for praising and chanting with the words of glorification to the Creator of the world and the Maker of mankind has encouraged it to dedicate a special praise before the raising of the Vespers incense. This praise serves as a preparation for the soul to raise the prayers with the incense offered during Vespers. In this work, we record the rite and hymns of the annual Sunday Vespers praise, which is prayed on Saturday evenings throughout the year, except on Bright Saturday, where there is no Vespers prayers for the glorious feast of the Resurrection. The rite of the annual Sunday Vespers praise begins with the Vespers prayer, followed by the hymn of Ni ethnos tiro, which is Psalm 116. Following this, the fourth canticle, which is composed of Psalm 148, Psalm 149, and Psalm 150 is chanted. The Sali, Isotem, is then chanted, which is exclusively for the annual Sunday's Vespers praise, and is chanted in the Watus tune. This is followed by the Saturday Sali, also sung with the Watus tune. Then the Saturday Theotokeia with the Watus tune is chanted, followed by the first and second Sharat. The Sharat is a Watus Lopsh about the Saturday Theotokeia. After this, the Defnar is read with the annual Watus tune, and begins with the introduction Tin Oosht. The hymn of the Watus Theotokeia, Open Choice, is chanted at the conclusion, followed by the Lord's Prayer. In this work, we record the rite and hymns of this magnificent praise with its melismatic tunes, relying on what remains for us from the audio recordings of Cantor Michael the Great. As for the rest of the hymns and recitative tunes, we have relied on what has been transmitted from the most accurate sources available in the Coptic Church, with careful consideration for the correct pronunciation of both Coptic and Greek words. We ask God to bless this work and allow it to be useful for the Church and all the deacons in Egypt and in all the lands of immigration. Through the intercessions of the fully immaculate Virgin Saint Mary and all the martyrs and saints, and through the prayers of His Holiness Pope Shenouda III. And to the Lord belongs all glory and honor, from now and unto the ages. Amen.